Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. With the song coming to an end, a devotee is asking a question, a Brahmo devotee. Sir, can't we realize God without complete renunciation? Master, with a laugh, of course you can. Why should you renounce everything? You are all right as you are, following the middle path, like molasses, partly solid and partly liquid. The jaggery is called molasses, especially when it is molten state, and it will be sometimes after long preservation, if crystallization will be there inside, crystals form, and it will be partly solid and partly liquid. You know the game of knacks. Having scored the maximum number of points, I am out of the game. I can't enjoy it. But you are very clever. Some of you have scored 10 points, some 6, and some 5. You have scored just the right number, so you are not out of the game like me. The game can go on. Why? That's fine. All laugh. The game of knacks, what it is, in footnote is giving. In the Indian card game of knacks, the object is to stay in the game by scoring under 17 points. Your point should not go beyond 17. Anyone scoring 17 points or more has to retire. That one game, card game it seems. So, if you have to somehow, if you want to continue, the skill is shown not in scoring high points here. Skill is shown, you must be always below 17 points. If you cross it, you are out of the game. So how can you maintain gain? If you move a coin, you may get a point and you may lose the game. Usually the points, the merits is decided by the number of points you acquire. Here, merit is decided by the points you remain less. The less number you are more greater. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you can live in the world, and that means here the question is God realization not possible without complete renunciation? Sri Ramakrishna says, you can. Why should you renounce completely everything? There are certain things you need not renounce. This we see very clearly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. The first fact is, he is asking, Sir, can we realize God without complete renunciation? Can we realize God? The question is, can we realize God? Is acceptance of the ideal of God realization. The person has accepted the God realization as the purpose of human life, and I have to achieve it. The acceptance of ideal itself, you have already beyond the worldly hold. The past momentum may not be leaving you. The momentum you have acquired, life after life, the vasanas might not be leaving you so easily. But acceptance of ideal is something. See, millions and millions of people are there in the world. How many people have accepted the ideal of God realization? Who wants God? Thakur in the end, he sheds tears and says, Kareva boli ke bashune. Who wants God? Whom shall I tell? Who will listen to me? Almost all saints feel this. Who will listen to me? Who wants God really? So millions of people, millions of humans, if you have accepted, means they are the forerunners. Some will cross over in this very life. The total acceptance, beyond all doubts, the human life is exclusively meant for God realization. That acceptance. And I have to reach that. So the question has already a conditioned question, as if that is not only conditioned, it is a dedication is already there. So Krishna makes this point clear, very clear in the Bhagavad Gita. Whole of Bhagavad Gita, you will see, it is teaching, as Sri Ramakrishna tells, only Tyaga. Tyaga in what form? Last, beginning from the Sankhya Yoga, that is the highest truth. He gives first. You are not at all the body. Why are you worried about these things? Begins with the Advaita concept. Nainam chindanti shastrani. Nasato vidyate bhavo. All these things, pure Advaitic, he begins, because that is the one place where nobody can question. Faith can be questioned, doubted, but reasoning, when it is perfect reasoning, is there, which cannot be questioned. Just the simplest thing is, what are you experiencing when you sleep? What happens? Try to find out. What is happening? How do you disconnect yourself from the physical body? You need not bring God or anything in for the sake of Advaitic concept. How are you separating from the body at the time of sleep? What exactly happens? How the consciousness is detached from the bodily existence? What part it gets detached? How do you enter into deep sleep, even leaving the dream state? Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupta. Who is passing through? Till you are waking up, you are entirely independent of body. You are unrelated to body. While waking up, again you identify yourself with physical body. In dream, when you enter, you identify totally with the dream body and experience the joys and sorrows of dream world. Now, who are you? When waking up, you say, this is you, this body is yourself. In dream state, you say, dream body to be yourself. And in deep sleep, you don't know whether you exist or not. This simple experience, who are you in this body? Here, you need not bring a divine or spiritual or anything into the picture, which has faith as the basis. Just know yourself, who you are, what is happening. The witness of the three states of Jagrata, Swapna, who is passing through. Now, there, nobody can question. It is your experience being told every day, every experience. Then the other things are linked to that, one by one. So when the Advaita is given, it debases all arguments. First chapter, totally Krishna leaves to Arjuna. He is just smiling and listening. All arguments must end. What all he wants to put through, all things, he is coming out, he is vomiting what is inside. After everything is over, he has nothing more to say. Then Krishna opens his mouth. Ashochan anvasochastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gataso nagadasonscha nanusochanti panditaha. What a beautiful statement. How Krishna handles the psychology, you see. The whole of Bhagavad Gita, as you go, it begins with this Advaitic, pure Advaitic concept. Then he enters into Karma Yoga. Then he moves on after giving him the vision of God. Then he teaches Bhakti Yoga. Where Bhakti comes, you see. True Bhakti, true love of God comes only after getting the vision of God. Then in the end, towards the end, the Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the renunciation part, he takes up in the last chapter. He introduces, 4th chapter, what is sannyasa. Leaving the actions is not sannyasa. Yoga and Sankhya, he differentiates. Last he comes and gives the ultimate truth of sannyasa. To develop that one theory, give up all these things and take refuge in me. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam. He never presents himself to Arjuna. First, so many period will be over. He has physically, at gross level, Arjuna is a surrendered soul already. But when the war field comes and is Krishna brings in such a situation that he has to feel that despondency. If he had parked his car, Ratha, in front of Duryodhana, then you must have seen what he would have been. He would have boiled with. He goes and parks in such a place, he has nothing to say except feeling the despondency. He goes and stands in front of his Guru, Dronacharya and Bhishma, Pitama. One who loved him most from the childhood, fatherless child, is to run to grandfather, Tata. And he also, all the blessing, all the love, he had one whole, as if it is focused on Arjuna. Because they are meant for each other. They are Naranarayana Avatara, like Swamiji and Thakur, Naranarayana aspect. So here we see that Arjuna, physically he has surrendered, but actual surrender takes place after when he goes and parks there. Becomes helpless. One who has taught him the Vidya of war, now he has to go and fight same weapons he has to use against his own guru who taught him. What a situation. And be ready to kill. He cannot, he is Arjuna who has come to for the sake of dharma samsthapana. He cannot hoodwink God or anywhere, any type of compromise. Absolute justice he has to observe. One who has come for dharma samsthapana, like the public people cannot have private life. These people cannot err in their life. So you see that Arjuna here surrenders. After total surrender, Shadimam Tvam Prapannam, Prapatti, one of the important things Ramanujacharya takes up, Prapatti. Total, I am falling at the feet, never to lift myself again. Prapatti means I have given myself entirely and unconditionally forever. That kind of giving is Prapatti. And there he says, Prapanna, I am Prapanna. Shaditvam mam Prapannam. I have become. And you have to instruct me. This Prapatti makes Krishna first utter those words. Yes, the senses, like the Kurmanga Aniva Sarvasha, draw and keep at my feet. First introduction. He introduces himself, Krishna. Thakur never introduces to Naren who he is, what, nothing. Goes on training him, because otherwise it will remain only an information, not a realization. Suppose Thakur says to Naren, I am incarnation of God. Narendra says, I am also incarnation of God. Not only you. All are incarnation of God only. You can't. It's an information. He waits after giving all spiritual experiences, making him realize all aspects of God, including Nirvikalpa. Finally, after giving Nirvikalpa, when he says, now I have locked your Nirvikalpa experience. Once you finish the mother's work, this will be given back to you. Then first, who is this person who can unlock and lock Nirvikalpa Samadhi? It is final. Ultimate reality has reached. And there who can, where there is no duality, who is this person? He says, I am locking your realization of Advaita. There is a power, always remember. Even a Brahmajnani can be put back by Divine Mother into any condition. Still, we are one with God, but the powers of God we don't get. With realization, you are totally one with God. But you cannot be like a Bindu and Sindhu. Both are water. As water, there is absolutely no difference. But Bindu is Bindu, Sindhu is Sindhu. In essence, we are one. I am also spirit, you are also spirit. But the powers of Ishvara, even after realization, to do Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, or to give mukti to anybody, the Otherwise, these realized souls would have given mukti to everybody, closed the shop and gone away. What is the need of God anymore? They have so much of compassion that they are only where a saint is caught is his compassion. And love and compassion makes him yield to activities again. So here we see Krishna making very clear about renunciation. Except yajna, dana, tapo, karma. Everything you can renounce, but never these three. Yajna, dana and karma. Yajna, dana, tapa. Yajna is what is done for sake of God and others. Yajna. Usually for the sake of God. And seeing God in a man and serving also is a part of yajna. Dana is exclusively to humans. Dana, yajna, dana. Tapa. What you do for other beings is dana. What you do for divine is yajna. And what you do for your own evolution is tapa. You cannot give up your tapa. You cannot neglect the others who are living with you. The most important part of the spiritual existence, not only Hinduism. Hinduism is one of the aspects. When you bring it as a religious entity, it is a spirituality, divinity. When you see in the spiritual outlook, it takes an entirely different shape. Yajna, dana, tapa. These three you can never leave. You cannot give up. That Swamiji puts this beautiful terminology, Atmano mokshatam jagadhitaya cha. Atman, for your own evolution to divinehood and for the welfare of others. Jagadhitaya, an important part which you cannot neglect. Jagadhita. You cannot give up God. You cannot give up other people who are living with you as human beings. Yajna, dana. And you cannot put yourself in danger or in imprisonment. You have to, you are the maker of your own destiny. You have to stand up, work for yourself now. One's mother tells one woman, be compassionate to yourself. Don't be harsh to yourself. What a beautiful expression you see. Most of us, many times, we are harsh to ourselves. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. See, even to think that why my fate has become like this, or cursing oneself, or feeling depressed, all these mental ailments are cursing oneself, is finding that I am not compassionate to myself, I am not kind to myself. I have to be kind to myself as I am kind to others. Then I can change, transform myself. Otherwise I cannot transform. Let it be. Let it be. Let me be like this. What is there? No. Let you not be like this, what you are now. Evolve to absolute divinity, ultimate divinity. So Thakur says, of course you can. here we see you can hear how he is, just like Krishna telling, Krishna, what you told yoga, it is impossible, I think, because mind is such a thing which cannot be controlled, like air. Nobody can bind air. Like that is mind. So Krishna says, yes, what you tell is true. I accept it. But abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grahyate. Through abhyasa and vairagya it is possible to bring under control. Similarly, the moment he says, can we not realize God? Without total, complete, absolute renunciation, he says, no, why? You can, but what you cannot renounce means something is there which you cannot renounce. There is something which you have to renounce. There, how tactfully he uses the term, you see. Why should you renounce everything? You are all right as you are, following the middle path, like molasses, partly solid and partly liquid. Do you know the game of mags? Why? That's fine. You have scored just the right number, so you are not out of the game like me. The game can go on. Why? It's fine. I tell you the truth. He comes to the conclusion. Final decision, final authority. I tell you the truth. There is nothing wrong in your being in the world. But you must direct your mind towards God. You can live in the world, but keep the mind on God. Otherwise, you will not succeed. Very clear terms. He has to advise, see what work you are going to do in this world. Little work, what is given to you. For that little mind is sufficient. Day to day, earning, cooking and eating. This much mind is sufficient. Rest of the mind, vast mind. It goes on thinking, it goes on filling with things unwanted. Why do you want to keep? 3/4 of the mind you keep on God. With 1/4 you do the duties of your life. How clearly and easily he says, you see, 3/4 of the mind keep on God. In training center when we were there, one brahmachari told the Acharyas are authority in scriptures. The children, this is like children talking to fathers and grandfathers. The children feel themselves greater than the fathers and grandfathers always. When they argue with parents, they forget they are experienced in the world. But fathers also and grandfathers, they get down to the level of child and they speak in the same way the child. So here we see Thakur coming out with I am going to tell you the truth. You cannot realize God without this 3/4 in the training center. When this was told, he said, we can't keep even 1% of mind on God. 75% of the mind to keep on God. The Acharya asked, what do you mean? You have renounced everything. I am not talking this, I am not presenting this to people in the world. You have renounced, this is your profession. Sannyasa is your profession. Day and night you have to think of God alone. What else you will do? Then he said, Thakur says, see, the mind is, Acharya is explaining, mind is such a thing, you have to, with a silk thread, tie the mind to the feet of the Lord. Because Lord's feet is so soft, it becomes hurt. Otherwise, with silk thread, you tie your mind to God's feet, it will remain there. He said, Swamiji, to Acharya, the brahmachari is telling, what are you telling? Silk thread? Have you seen silk thread? If you put a chain and bind also, it will snatch away. Mind is such a thing under the vasanas. It will. It was very interesting, the talks. It's just like grandchildren and grandfather. Acharya is finding it's all possible. The brahmachari is thinking it is impossible. And the argument is going on. If you put an iron chain, also it will snatch away. Mind is such a thing. So this mind has to be brought at the feet of the Lord. The more and more you think of the divine and think of others, always be aware of the others suffering in the world. Whatever way, if nothing is possible, just sit and pray for them. By that, you expand to the cosmic level. From this limited I, you expand. Thinking of God, you transcend the nature. Thinking of others, you expand. Expansion is spirituality. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.